Okay, so to know the ultimate truth, to know the ultimate truth about who you are as an infinite, birthless, immortal, spontaneously self-luminous, overwhelmingly intoxicating. They're all powerful, all knowing, infinitely creative, supremely beautiful, intensely enticing, spontaneously self-luminous being of bliss consciousness. There, there involves honesty with one's self there. And so true knowing is not intellectual. True knowing spontaneously happens through direct experience with yourself as a being of bliss consciousness there, which is done through the mantra Ram Ram Ram, and holding your eardrums gently closed and listening to them, listening and feeling the roar and the vibration of your bliss consciousness. And this is an immediate experience there. It's immediate, direct experience with your self as a being of bliss consciousness there. So you can't think your way there. You can't just memorize this information about the ultimate truth that I'm sharing with you there. It's like a house full of books about the ultimate truth and intellectual knowledges, and when that house burns down, all the books go with it there. So just intellectually, having this information and be able to, tell somebody else about it, it involves no direct experience of yourself there as a being of bliss consciousness. So intellectual knowledge of the ultimate truth is totally worthless there. You have to dive into it. You have to go past these words here. And the way you go past the words there is by mantra. Ram, and by listening to and feeling the roar of your bliss consciousness by holding your eardrums gently closed and listening to the roar and vibration of your bliss consciousness. Is only through your own personal direct experience with your individual, with your self, with your bliss consciousness. There is only through direct experience with your bliss consciousness, with you, your direct experience with you as a being of bliss consciousness. That's the only way you know about bliss consciousness there, which you're infinite and is ever and ever. You're spontaneously always going deeper and deeper and deeper there. So to listen to this information about the ultimate truth about who you are and what's going on involves honesty. It involves honesty there. It involves honesty with yourself. You have to be desperate enough to know the ultimate truth about who you are and what's going on. And how do you get desperate enough about it? The way you get desperate enough about it is through honesty. Their honesty and realizing that your concepts honesty and realizing that your concepts, honesty and realizing that your concepts have not led you to permanent, complete contentment. You might not give a shit about knowing who you are and what's going on there, but you damn sure would like to have permanent, complete contentment there. So it involves it involves honesty and realizing that your concepts have not brought about permanent, complete contentment for you. Your concepts have not brought about knowing through direct experience who you are as an individual being of bliss consciousness. So listening and honesty or go hand in hand there to truly be able to listen to this ultimate knowledge here. You have to set down your concepts there, or you're going to just continue on in a life of misery there. Maybe you have a $300 million house and a Bucati and a Maserati and a 300-foot trimaran sailboat there, and $3 billion in the bank there. But everybody, regardless of whether you're living in a $750 a month condo or whatever, there has concepts about what's true and what's not there. And there is no way that concepts lead you to what the truth is about who you are. And you have to be honest enough with yourself there to realize that. You have to have hit the wall hard enough that you go, these fucking concepts just aren't working for me. You have to set them down to hear what's being shared with you about the ultimate truth about who you are. Concepts will keep you locked up the rest of this lifetime and who knows how many lifetimes after this here. Maybe you're feeling somewhat content there. I'm telling you, you have no idea. You have no idea of who you are there. When you just listen and be honest enough with yourself there, that there's a whole lot more to know about who you are there, then you'll start to get this. Then you'll start to be greedy about taking time to gently close your eardrums closed and listen to the and feel the roar and vibration of your bliss consciousness. Folks, you just have this is bliss consciousness. No, it's not having $40 bajillion and all the women in the world or all the men in the world there being the sexiest person on the planet there and having a Maserati or having you name it there. That you have to be honest enough with yourself to realize that is without knowing who you are and what's going on, that's totally worthless. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you're making it all out of your bliss consciousness there. That form you're in, everything in your world, you are constantly creating, sustaining, and dissolving, not destroying. That's your bliss consciousness. You destroy first of all, your bliss consciousness can't be destroyed there. There. So you're constantly creating, sustaining, and dissolving form there that is made out of your formless bliss consciousness. Play with that. that form you are in is like, you look at the galaxy that we're in here, and there's no way you can spot the Earth. Same with your body, is just an infinitesimal speck of your infinite presence. Your infinite presence. Yeah, let's talk about presence. Presence there, the presence people feel in meditation, or the presence they feel there. They feel is God's presence there. No, folks, it's not God's presence there. It's your presence. What has people have you know there what people when people have experienced the presence and the light there, and it blows you away there, but what you're experiencing is not God. It's endless numbers of us, of realized beings of bliss consciousness there. That's what's recognized as God there. And the presence you feel when you hold your eardrums gently closed there, and listen and feel the roar and vibration of your bliss consciousness, is your bliss consciousness. Nobody else's, not God's, not Jesus, not Lord Krishna, not Lord Shiva, not Lord Rama. It is your bliss consciousness. I'm really doing everything I can to hammer that home. That presence you feel that just melts you is your presence as an infinite, spontaneously self-luminous being of bliss consciousness there. It is your presence. Your presence. So, listening involves self-honesty there, and realizing that your castle of concepts has not led you to permanent, complete contentment. Your castle of concepts has not led you to knowing who you are as a birthless, immortal, spontaneously self-luminous, overwhelmingly intoxicating individual being of bliss consciousness there. So, and another, and I want to go over one other thing too. Each of us, as an individual being, each of us individual beings of bliss consciousness, each of us individual beings of bliss consciousness are everywhere. Each of us individual beings of bliss consciousness are everywhere. Feel that, explore, feel just how totally, completely intimate that is. Are each of us being everywhere. Okay, we're approaching 15 minutes here, and I want to make it under 15 minutes so I can get it on Instagram. So listening involves self-honesty and setting down all your concepts, or at least as many as you can, enough so that you start listening to and feeling the roar of your bliss consciousness, enough that you start the mantra Ram, and you don't have to do it out loud all the time, but all the time Ram in the background there, all through your day there, and then steal moments, seconds, minutes, and more of holding your eardrums closed and just listen to your bliss consciousness, folks. You'll fall in love with yourself.